first time, food service selling in North America exceeded sales of retail sales. Food service or out-of-home sales exceeded retail sales. The biggest question is, when will food service selling or out-of-home sales exceed retail sales in our part of the world? Well, stay tuned, because that day will eventually come, and we are experiencing some of the best opportunities during this time of doing business, and plenty of more opportunities to come. Today I have the privilege of having with me Ayman Arnous. How are you, Ayman?
I'm good, thank you, Ramez.
Ayman currently is the General Manager for Food Services for Almarai Pro. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Wonderful. So I've known Ayman for almost 15 years now, and maybe the story goes, why don't you just share a little bit of how do we get to know each other, and how have you reached to where you are today, Ayman?
Perfect, Ramez. First and foremost, thank you for having me today. I'm really excited to really discuss a few business topics with you, Ramez. I mean, over the last 5 years, I've been following you, tracking your progress, and I must say, great involvement, Ramez, and this is absolutely comes with a great effort. So well done, Ramez. Quickly about how we met. Ramez and I had the privilege to first meet in Bitfood. I remember that was in 2009. At that time, I was a key account executive, handling few accounts with Bitfood, and we had the chance to really learn the basics of selling. I can say, not so well developed in a way that I can say I used to be a master in sales. However, we were trying to learn the basic, and I still remember the first question I asked you when I first saw you, Ramez, is that I have that client who always asks me for a discount, and I really don't want to lose him. What can I do, Ramez? And this is where we started the discussion of added value selling, and how to really understand the customer, and how to really advance in your proposal. Mainly that's it, how we started, and it's really astonishing to see over a decade where we are now, Ramez. Let it be yourself or my progress in my career as well, and in the food service industry.
Amazing. Thanks a lot for this. I have that as a blank spot. I don't remember having that conversation. I'm sure you do better than I. Wonderful. So from Bitfood, 2009, you've worked within the food service industries, and then reached to where you are. If you were to maybe detect or say, what is the one thing that, if it's two, that's fine, that has been responsible for your growth and your success as a food service professional, Ayman?
Look, food service as a business in this region, whether we like it or not, is undermined still. There is no one answer to the question. There are plenty of reasons and plenty of areas, I can say, that makes the food service professional a successful one, especially in his career. One and foremost is the people. Today, food service, in contrary to retail, it's not about branding, it's not about visibility. It's about the ability to really connect, wire with people, to really sell, understand the business, and connect and wire for the future. It's about your commitment to understand short-term objective and really build the right focus to win in the long term. Also about food service, what I've realized is it's about the technology, the investment, the speed to market, hardcore follow-up that you and the team can do in order for you to understand business needs, as well as to understand how to win overall in the market.
Right. So you said a whole bunch of things. The one thing that stuck to me is connecting with your client. I think from a food service perspective, when you say connecting with the client, can you elaborate a little bit more? Connecting in which way, Ayman? So I'm let's say an F&B manager, or I am a chef, or I am an owner of a restaurant, or a chain for that matter.
Yeah, very good question, Ramez. The ability, first of all, you have to really break it down into two. Whether you know the person or you know the business and you already have a solid relationship with the customer, or you're just recently have been advised to meet a new prospect and to really approach through a business proposal or to a potential business for the future. And let's start with the second one, is that today when you have the ability to really propose and introduce yourself, you have to be, first of all, the right ambassador for yourself and for your company. People in this channel and in this business like to really meet smart as well as high potential people that not only can help them in the selling journey, but also can really uncover a lot of potential that to them it might be not discussed or not even thought of. And that's why the ability for you when you meet a new prospect is to really show the ability as a person, build on the likability, and then try to really hook the customer in few personal skills that you have, so that the moment you really propose the business discussion, the prospect will be really having the hooked effect to say, well, I'm gonna really work with Ayman. I really liked that sales executive or that sales manager, and I'm gonna build some kind of a relationship with him. This is only as a start, and then comes the commercial acumen, is the ability to really take one step back to really understand the prospect business. What do they do? What are their plans? What do they want to achieve at the end of the day, by end of the year, or maybe a little bit on the long run? All this will be able to help you to really propose the right commercial and as well portfolio skills to help you win and advance in your proposal with such a prospect.
Amazing. I think you said another, I couldn't stop you because you were just on a roll. You talk about commercial acumen. So what's in it for the other person? Today we know that most outlets or most people that start the business, mainly it's because they maybe want to bring something unique to the market. They are keen to maybe differentiate. They're passionate about their recipes, their art, their craft. Yeah, and in a way they're fulfilling a need in the market. And today we know, especially in this part of the world, Saudi is the recent coming to this, recent entrant into this after the pandemic. We've seen research showing that 1 in every 2 Saudis are choosing to eat healthier meals, right? 1 in every 2. And if you go back just 5-10 years ago, that was unheard of back in 2009 when you started with BitFood. That was the total exception, as opposed to today, 1 in every 2, that's 50%. And this maybe the market in the UAE is a little bit more multicultural. So the health trend was something that people was in, but today that is coming there. So people start their business idea to want to give to the market, want to be different, and fulfill the demand in the market. So at the end, they want to drive value. They want to offer the client the right menu, the right offering, so that they can achieve whatever goals. They can help the client achieve their health consciousness, and then they can achieve their goal, their profitable goals at the end. I'm going to pause us here for a second. So first is understanding the objective of the prospect of the enterprise that they are dealing with. Thank you for that.
Ramez, about the latest trend, and out of 2 Saudi, 1 Saudi is really choosing the healthiest option. Actually, this is not only a regional trend, this is a global trend.
Absolutely.
And not only it's about choosing, also the variety of choices today is helping the consumer or I can say that person who would like to really dine out today, to have variety of options and to really prioritize based on those options what is the healthiest need or the healthiest menu that he would like to see from an operator. That creates by itself a great opportunity for a lot of operators in KSA and in GCC to invest in that segment, and this segment is inorganically growing. As well, I can say today what we see from the operators is that the tendency of changing menu is really increasing, which means creating more varieties for consumer, and that by all means create also great opportunity for more products in the near future as well, more advanced, healthiest products to be proposed by companies and suppliers to the operators.
Absolutely, and one of the trends that is on the rise. Well, one is the healthy options. Deliveries are rising. The eating on the go and eating, and the percentage of deliveries has risen drastically because of COVID. But now, even after, it's still rising. People, are enjoying that. And I'd even add something that is quite interesting. Is the vegetarian. There's a rise of vegetarianism. So maybe not everyone is just going to eat veg. Yet today, people are realizing the impact of eating meat on the environment. So people are choosing to maybe slow down on their meat intake to be more conscious with the environment. So is this something that maybe you're seeing in the market?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Still, the protein segment still high. However, when we notice the fast growth of let's say the vegetarian options, the healthiest, the seafood, we also understand there's a nice shift in the consumers today to really be more wise in their choices, especially when selecting operators, as well as today, honestly speaking, Ramez, also visibility play a big part of awareness. Today,
What do you mean visibility of
visibility
what?
of the menus, the aggregator apps, everything is helping the consumer to have quickly. Before, if we compare just 10 years ago or 15 years ago, we did not have the option to really understand what is the operator offering in terms of menu. Today, right, everything is on a click of a button. You'll be able to have the full visibility, and that by itself increase the choices, as well create the right visibilities for better and more wise decisions when it comes to dining out.
And building on that, I think operators today that maybe will go and say, well, my menu has always been my menu. Why do I need to change? Well, if you do not change and the competitors are evolving their offering to meet the current demand of the consumers, well, where will you be? I think today all food service operators, and today we talk about selling an ingredient, selling a product versus selling a concept versus selling a menu. Looking at we call it trends, implications, opportunities. What are the trends? We spoke about health trend. We spoke about health. The implication of this health trend is if you don't have anything healthy in your menu, well, you could be left out and you'd be a dinosaur. The opportunity is, hey, let me help you evolve the menu. Let me help you evolve what you have, and together we can grow. So this is what maybe you started by saying, Ramez. It's understanding the industry, understanding the operator, and using your know-how, your business acumen to really come and add value to the operator.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wonderful. Let's look at managing a food service business, the food service team. When you look at your current role, and maybe we generalize certain things, what were the challenges and what are still the challenges that you see in the way that food service needs to be approached in this market, Ayman?
Yeah, very important question, Ramez. I believe managing food service for this region, it started approximately 20 years ago. And unfortunately, whether we like it or not, the way this business, the approach for this business was, if we had good people in retail and we want to create a food service business, okay, let those people come and they will help us. Not only this, the approach also started by, if we're not able to really sell certain products in the market, then we will have the dumping strategy, and food service will be a reason to really move stocks away. Yeah. This by itself created the environment of incompetent employees working in the food service that affected this business for almost 10 years in terms of pricing. Definitely, if you don't know how to sell and you're using a dumping strategy,
you're taking away all the value. Yeah.
Then the products will be, the power will go back to operator. You'll be a facilitator only, or what we call it, the order takers, instead of order makers. So what I've seen is that in this region, we've witnessed a lot of evolution when it comes to managing food service. And one of the challenges that I personally faced, Ramez, is that the company decided to really create a food service strategy. So they hire the best-in-class manager to really manage the business. And then out of a sudden, the expectations are really rising, but the current reality in terms of structure and how he is managing are not really changing. I'm not expecting a manager to come in and really have the magic stick to create all this kind of added value selling, as well as the B2B approach to win over the next 5 years as a solo approach.
It's a complete transformation.
Absolutely.
And it's a whole
Absolutely.
culture, a whole, you can say, it is a culture, a transformation in how we used to sell and how we need to sell to really drive
That's
value.
right. That's right. And that's why one of my famous statements, Ramez, is that you win by design. And why you win by design in food service? Because the moment you embed the right structure, the moment you hire the right people, the competent people in selling, as well as the people that have the behavioral element of prospecting, meeting, the hunting abilities to understand the businesses and the ability to add value to those businesses, and then the training come as a second weapon for you in your armors to really focus on your team. All this will help you to really win by design, by creating the right structure. But this is not only it. There will be the element of development, the element of really the human element of how to really smartly attack the market or approach the market in a more strategic way. And this will require patience, time, and a lot of effort from the organization as well as the leaders.
Amazing. I'm just going to build on some really key elements you spoke about there, and maybe kind of you just go back to the drawing board. And Ayman, what you said is music to my ears, right? And knowing the requirements, so we want to find these better individuals that are able to engage with clients, that are able to go in and do the prospecting, presenting, adding value, doing the analysis. And sometimes, not sometimes, especially in the market where there is a war on talent, if you know what I mean. There's a war on talent where you don't find a lot of these individuals, right? So I'm going to throw it back at you, say, okay, Ayman, you know and I know that it's not easy to find these people, right? So in the absence of such a thing, what have you done that is working for you, and or can recommend? I know we're still in the process, you know, we never reach, we're always evolving and driving, but what are some things that maybe you can share with our audiences that they can do in case they cannot find the best people?
That's right. Definitely there is a scarcity in market when it comes to attracting professionals, when it comes to B2B. But again, we cannot really pause there to say this is it, and then until we will have the talent, we're going to proceed in the business. This brings us to the second key element in developing and managing food service, which is the training and the human element. Is the ability for you as a leader to invest your time, your knowledge, as well as to connect with professionals in the marketplace and industry to help you design the right materials, the right training, the right packages that can help the team not only learn the basics, but also touch base on the behavioral element of the approach, how to win in the marketplace, how to approach a customer, what's in it for me today as a salesman in the food service. What's the purpose today that drive potential and improvement on the long run? The moment we really invest in that area, over time, and we have to be patient as a leaders, because this takes time. And so many people and so many leaders, they want to really have fast results, but guess what, Ramez? It will take time. Fast result, you will suffer. Sometimes results will be impacted. However, if you believe in that journey, and if you have a solid long-term vision for your organization and for your people, you have to invest in enough time for your team to be on a different frequencies and period of time, to have the right materials, the right training, so that they can really expand and explore possibilities while they are learning.
What I love about what you're saying, Ayman, is don't wait for you to have the perfect conditions. Create the perfect conditions. And I remember during the pandemic in 2020, you personally First of all, what I love about you is you're hungry for knowledge. You always, you said 5 years ago you started following me, and because I maybe have started putting more content online, and it's great, and we've stayed in touch, and we've always had these conversations. And I would say in the pandemic, you invested in a program. You sat with 20 other sales leaders. Remember, from sales confusion to sales certainty. That was a topic, a course we created for sales leaders, people that manage teams. And Ayman was just like, yeah, I'm in. It wasn't even thinking twice about it. And you know what? Today, people listening to this program, I say you have a big responsibility as a leader of your team to provide them to model the way. I say there's a big saying out there that says the speed of the team is determined by the speed of its leaders. Absolutely. And you as a leader, I've seen you grow and evolve, and you talk about how did you find out about this food service opportunities? You're always reading, you're always part of networking events, you're rubbing shoulders with people that are at your same level, and you're learning what's out there. I believe today food service will not happen. You make food service happen. You take the bull by the horn, and you really plow that fertile ground, because you spend a little bit of time getting better, and the outcome is just unlimited. Growth in food service will by far exceed growth in retail. I mean, if you look at currently a lot of the businesses who are investing and developing their food services businesses are achieving much higher growth rates. Maybe the volume aren't there yet, but the volumes will eventually catch up. And it all started because you decided to learn, you decided to evolve, and guess what? You're taking everybody with you. Now, you're one, and the team is many. So the key now is how do you put systems and processes in place, and that's where the structured approach, training, development that you would then drive into the organization. That was really, I think our audiences would really enjoy this bit of information.
Absolutely. And to build on this point again, Ramez, is that if you said something interesting about the food service growth are bypassing the retail growth, and that's a fact. Today, when we compare in percentages, the growth in the operator counts in KSA, only 5 years ago, we're talking about 38% increase as a total count. Mm-hmm. When we look at the UAE, for example, we're talking about 25% increase in the total count. That tells you a lot. And when we look also, unfortunately, the pandemic slowed down the growth of food service. However, what's really interesting was the ability to bounce back quickly. So directly, we're still in the pandemic. However, with the ease of restriction now, we see a very nice and positive movement in the food service again. We see high traffic in the restaurants. And we see also that this channel is really growing faster again than retail. And also what's really interesting, Ram, is as the future is really promising. With all the challenges, the ability to really embed creativity in this channel is one of the core elements for success.
Yeah, creativity, finding opportunities based on change in the market, Absolutely. Okay, Ayman, I know being in the current environment, we're seeing some very volatile, I'm going to say, sudden changes in the current world economic condition. From shortages of supplies to still shortages of delivering products and services, supply chain difficulties. How is all this impacting food service in particular from your perspective?
Yeah, very, very important question, Ramez. Food service, if we want to zoom out a little bit to really define the channel, has always been a price-sensitive segment, especially because it's very dynamic, as well as because of the operator expectations, especially when it comes to prices. Always been a very dynamic and price-sensitive segment. Now, what's happening with all the challenges that you've mentioned, Ramez, is the cost input to run the operation is really increasing drastically, which is really affecting as well the ability of really keeping the price as is, and the pricing strategy is dynamically changing. And the fact is, it's changing now on quarterly basis. If you recall 2 years ago or 3 years ago before the pandemic, usually the commodity side of the business used to have a static pricing strategies, rarely to see a 4 to 5% increase. Today we're talking about extremely dynamic. We cannot really foresee the next quarter or the quarter after how the prices will be impacted, and that by itself for the food service industry is extremely challenging. Whether we like it or not, the operators will always suffer, and that's why my only advice to the team and to the organization is to continuous consultation, to really explain those facts. And I'm sure operators, they know, because they have their own toll of challenges as well when it comes to managing their cost. It's the ability to really keep continuous consultation to the operator, to really help them as much as we can in terms of managing costs, as well as keeping the serviceability high on the agenda to ensure that they are not we are not letting them down in such a very hard period, as well as securing the supply chain elements from the entire value chain, from let it be from producing the product all the way to have this product at the operator kitchen, is something that we are really focusing on in such very challenging period, Ramez.
Absolutely. You know, this is a very real threat. It's a threat for everyone, and whether it's you know, at the end the consumers are the one paying for that. You know, we're gonna go up. You know, have to buy more. Not to go very far, I have a 1-year-old, a 3-year-old, and the price of milk on my 1-year-old, I used to buy. He has to get a special milk. You know, and it was 90 dirhams, just a 900 gram. And then the pharmacy said, "Sir, now it's 116. Do you think I said I don't want it?" I said, "Okay, bring it on. You know, I have no choice. You know, that's milk for my son." I really, I think if there is that transparency that you talk about,
Absolutely.
if there is that, hey, this is what's happening on the price of oil. This is what's happening on the price of commodities. This is what's happening on the price on even the availability of certain ingredients, you know, because of certain part of the world are now restricted, then automatically there's a shrinkage in supply, and when supply is low, price goes up, and so forth and so on. So I really believe that sales professionals need to have a little bit of background in economics to understand this price, demand price relationship, so they can communicate more confidently with customers.
Absolutely.
I would even add one more thing, and maybe you want to add on that. I believe here they say winning happens in the preparation phase, not in the execution phase. And what I mean by that is you showing up, or the team, the person showing up to a customer afraid of communicating that news. That fear automatically will be felt by the person on the other side, and it would make them, react negatively. However, there's a way of passing on bad news, okay, in positive ways, so the person would feel more relieved. Any input on that?
It's a hardcore topic today. One of the most difficult tasks, to be honest, for any sales organization to manage, especially in B2B, is price increases.
Yeah.
It's not easy at all, and trust me, if selling a product was difficult, you have to try to really upscale the prices or upsell when it comes to existing operators. One of the things that, in my opinion, Ramez, that can help the organization succeed and the team to succeed is the leader's ability to instill confidence, is to really explain the reasons with full integrity. It's not about really painting a positive picture to tell them, guys, you know what, we have an opportunity to increase prices and we're going to make profit. No, state the real facts. Why we're increasing prices? What's the purpose of increasing prices? What's really affected us as an organization? If we don't, most importantly, Ramez, what's going to happen to our bottom lines, to our business, even to your incentives and salaries? And God forbids, if we're going to continue on the long run, guess what? Some of you now sitting on that meeting room will not be there. And that's why, as a leader, because I really care, we have the chance today to really protect ourselves, protect our organization, as well as be extremely honest to operators. The reasons are X, Y, Z. Today, globally, the world is not fine when it comes to economics, right? I mean, today everybody's talking about inflation. Today the whole world was hit by a severe pandemic. We have shortage of laborers, and then out of sudden you see the cycle of consumption is bouncing back, but you don't have laborers. So ingredients, and you don't have ingredients. So it's very tough to manage. Before we used to say we're gonna manage a 5 years plan. Today, Ramez, if you manage a quarter with full visibility of the second one, you're doing a great job. And that's why full visibility, back to your point, full visibility about the scenarios, the confidence that you're going to bring to the team, the approach, how you're going to approach the operator. If you're going to approach the operator that this is your new price and sorry, we cannot do anything, guess what? He will remember. And he's going to hunt you in the future. And guess what? Most probably you will not be able to do business with him again. This is why it should come with empathy, with the right explanation, with the right approach as well. How are you going to really communicate? What are the preparations that should be really shared prior to the approach? All this should be smartly managed by the leader as a role example to his team to really go and approach the operator. And also I would like to say something here, Ramez, is that sometimes, you know, you used to always say the art of reciprocity, right? Whatever you're going to give, you're going to take back. But also the operators managed to enjoy extremely solid prices over the last 2 years, especially in the pandemic. And one of the stories that I really share with the operator, despite Mr. Operator or Mr. Customer, your volume dropped drastically in the pandemic, less than 50 to 40%. I was still giving you the same prices that we've managed to agree on because we really wanted to support you in the pandemic. But now when we as a business got impacted now and the business is flourishing and you're coming back to really do well, now is the right time for you to understand that we have to really compensate our P&L a little bit to really increase and nudge prices up because we really want to make money. And I believe this kind of relationship not only will allow you to win on the short term, also will allow you to really invest on the long term. And nobody knows, maybe the cost will be dropping in the future. Maybe you will come back to the operator with better prices and customers will remember.
Ayman, thank you for sharing this. I mean, it's really, first I love the integrity, the ethical way that comes across, the very sincere way of you sharing what you're sharing with me, explaining it to me, and I can only imagine you taking the same approach with your team. And when your team is understanding the history, how you've helped clients in the past and how to kind of remind them. I think today people forget what have you done. People always remember what have you done for them lately, but they have a shorter memory what have you done for them when things were a bit difficult. So I believe this is a time for really leveraging all of the people skills, understanding the laws of influence, reciprocity, as you mentioned, and finding ways to create this, what I call proper approach, where it's a win approach for everyone. We want to still help you achieve your goals, and we can't help you achieve your goals and us not achieve ours. So we are in the same thing together. So really amazing, great insights there. So Ayman, I really thank you so much for the time today. I believe this is just the beginning of many more segments to come, right?
Right, that's good.
Absolutely. So until next time, sell more, sell faster, and profitably.